Welcome back to Kings Park in Durban. The Western Samoan players running out onto the pitch to a tumultuous reception. They're about to be followed by Will Carling and his England men. So I'm going to hand you straight over to our commentators, Steve Smith and John Taylor.
Well, a big night for England. Everybody very aware of their responsibilities.
And the English team.
And there's a sight that most will welcome. Dean Richards in there at number 8. The big man playing his first game in the World Cup. You see that heavily strapped right thigh. He's had hamstring trouble. Steve Smith, who's with me, is one of the old believers that number 8, and in fact all forwards, are not allowed to have hamstrings at all.
He's found them all of a sudden, John, right at the end of his career, so I think he's celebrating the fact.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for the 2 national anthems? First of all, the national anthem of England. The national anthem of Manu Samoa.
Samoa, the anthem, and now England will line up and face the traditional challenge from the Samoans, also called the Manu Samoa, Manu meaning warrior.
The linesman, there is one replacement. Jim Fleming of Scotland will be on the line for...
To Vaenga, the centre, leads the challenge. Even more lively than the New Zealand haka. So a much changed England 15, captained by Will Carling for the 50th time this evening. They're protecting Rob Andrew and Martin Bayfield from the big hitting Samoans. So Mike Catt moves up to fly half, with John Collard in at fullback. Richard West, the 6'10", 24-year-old from Gloucester, wins a first cap in the second row. Graham Dorr wins his first cap since the 1987 World Cup at hooker, and at last Dean Richards has shaken off his hamstring injury to take his place at number 8. That could be very important for England. And there's the Western Samoan lineup. There are 2 forced changes in the backs. Fly half Darren Kellett and wing George Harder are replaced by 19-year-old Esera Puletu, the youngest player in the tournament, and George Lautepi. In the forwards, Daryl Williams comes back into the second row, and they've had to reshuffle the back row because of the injury to Junior Paramore. Damien Hopley and John Mallett, the 2 uncapped members of the squad, are both on the England bench. Western Samoa's popular captain Peter Fatialofa also sits this one out. He's 36 and they're resting him for the knockout stages. The referee tonight, Patrick Robin from France. His touch judges are Joël Dumais, also a Frenchman, and Jim Fleming from Scotland. Mike Catt with the number 10 on his back. Has played there a great deal for Bath, of course, but refutes any suggestion that he's a fly half who's moved to fullback. He says it's very much the opposite way round. He played all his school rugby at fullback, and that's where he prefers to play. And there's Richard West. What a big day for him. He only came into the squad at the last moment because of an injury to Simon Shaw, the Bristol lock, and now he gets his chance of a first full cap. And it will be John Callard to kick off. And we're in business. No knock-on, says the referee, and England forcing the ball into touch just outside the Samoan 22. All thoughts of either side, perhaps not caring whether they win this one or not, because nobody knows whether South Africa or Australia, the 2 opponents in the quarterfinals, are stronger, has been discounted by both camps. Oh, and Graham Dorr almost getting a touch there on Nualitia's little kick into touch.
Yes, believe you me, John, both teams want to win this game very badly, and especially Western Samoa, because they see this as their cup final.
They've never met before. There's the back of the line, Utali for the Samoans. England trying to get that drive going. That's what they've been lacking in the matches so far. They're getting some movement. Richards now getting in the back. They've almost got the perfect scrum formation, and away bursts Ugogu. Back inside to Dewi Morris. Backs on his shoulder. They held up just short, but they've still got control. In goes the drive again. They're rolling around. One more surge and they could be over. Now they've just got to get it down. Neilback. Try for Neilback. Superbly worked from the England forwards. And Neilback, the man many people say is too small for international rugby, proves them all wrong, and to his great delight scores his first try in an England jersey.
Great start, England. All started with a good catch at the back from Steve Ajomo, and then they got the platform they've been looking for all tour. The rolling maul started 20 yards before this. The control was superb. One more heave and they were over. And out of the side, you'll suddenly see the blonde-haired mop of Neilback. Great start for England.
Neilback will be so happy with that one. John Callard with the kick. It's good, but not good enough. Just wide of the right post, but well struck. And absolutely from the touchline. John Callard winning his 4th cap.
Neil Black celebrating, but really the try was started 20 yards before by a good platform from the forwards, a nice break from Dowie Morris.
So with 3 minutes gone, the Western Samoans kick off already 5-0 down. And England, who had scored just 2 tries in this tournament before this evening, have got lift off in exactly the way they'd have wanted.
First touch from Mike, that's a good one. Very important now he plays tonight. Now very much out of position at number 10, but it's important that he has a good game for England.
Jack Rowell looking relaxed. I think it's been agony for him. He really has been puzzled because they've trained well and yet things just haven't been working. There's Leia Samaivao going round the front, the hooker. It's actually the Wellington provincial hooker in New Zealand, but there's about half the side, or more than half this side, the Samoan side, is based in New Zealand. Martin Johnson can't gather it in. Nui Litia, gathered by Ian Hunter, and that's a good first touch from him as well, Steve. He's been dogged by injury over the last 12 months, gets his chance, and he'll be anxious to make something of it. West can't get to it. Fortunately for them, steaming through was George Latu, who didn't take it. And back it comes to England, Mike Catt again.
Yes, going back to Ian Hunter, John, you were right, that was a big first catch for him. He's been plagued with injury. What he was thinking when that ball was coming down with 8 hard-hitting Samoans running after him, I don't know, but he took the ball very well.
Dean Richards leading the forwards, just dropping out back from the line-out as it's been shortened by the Samoans. Good jump at the back there by Uteli. Very poor kick. This is the youngster coming in, Tuletu. And the Samoans took it in, they didn't get the ball down, so it's a put into England. This little outside half is Sarah Tuletu, made his debut against South Africa because Darren Kellett couldn't make the trip when they were here earlier in the year. The youngest player in the World Cup, the number 10. There's Peter Fadialofa, the Western Samoan captain. He's a real veteran, 36 years old, and he's made over 100 appearances for the Auckland provincial side. And where is Patrick Robin going? He's going right over to the wing because Hunter started chasing that kick when he was in front of the kicker. And now it's not enough to be put onside. He mustn't make any forward movement at all if he's in front of the kicker. And Patrick Robin making his intentions very clear from there. Mike Umanga, the fullback, coming forward.
Lack of discipline, Ian Hunter should have stayed back, made sure. Patrick Robin very, very sharp on that.
Mike Umanga, another New Zealand-based player, born in Lower Hutt, just up from Wellington. Plays for the Batoni Club and Wellington Province. And he's got to take over from Darren Kellett, who had that bad shoulder injury in the Argentina game. Right-footed, he's pulled it past the near post. So England get away with that one. They still lead 5-0. 7.5 minutes gone. Yes, good dropout from Mike Catt too. They're important as well. And they take it in, beautifully gathered. That was Martin Johnson, who got a two-handed catch from the 22 dropout. Umanga coming forward. Oh, it looked for a moment as if it was going to be a collision, but Brian Lima took responsibility. Yasamaivao, and then fed back by Upeli. Dragged down there well by West. And Johnson. And England turned the man there. This, I thought it was coming for a moment. The Western Samoans getting the scrum, but England almost succeeding in turning them and gaining possession.
And guess who that was? The big arms of Dean Richards. Pulled him over, smothered the ball. England got to be very careful here because in midfield, broken play, Western Samoa are very, very dangerous. So the first time tackling has got to be good.
Scrum a bit shambolic, but they get it away beautifully. Umanga with the little chip down the touchline. It's good. Confident start from the full-back. He'll attack too at every opportunity. He plays a lot of his rugby on the wing, so he's got real pace. Graham Dorr, the oldest man in the England squad, 35 years old, and England penalised. It's a free kick for closing the gap in the line-out. The Samoans, they couldn't kick a goal because it's a free kick, but taking the opportunity to set it up wide, they've got an extra man, and away goes Lima, hurling across. The man actually tackled without the ball, but they've got away with it.
First time we've seen them. They are very, very dangerous when they spin the ball wide. First opportunity, Lima on the overlap, and the England defence was good, had to be to keep him out.
And a big tackle there from Will Carling. Obviously no ill effects from the ankle injury he got in the first match. They can't control the line out even though they got the first touch, but they've still got the ball. That's better, they've set it up. Into Lima, using the right winger really well at the moment. Now putting it out wide, Vaenga coming back, and England have got to hold on to their men or they're going to be in trouble. But a mistake from the Samoans, and England escaped. They were just about to win that ruck when it was stopped illegally, and so they get the penalty and relief.
Certainly was a relief. Knock on Western Samoa, but what a dangerous player this Vaenga is. They've got a cracking pair of centres, two very quick wingers and a fullback, and they are extremely dangerous, believe you me.
Mike Catt again striking the ball well. Puts play almost up halfway. Born in Port Elizabeth, but has an English mother, and now feels very English, even though his accent belies it sometimes. Dorr with the throw. Richard West getting a good two-handed catch, and England immediately getting in there to roll. This is where they know they're tighter than the Samoans. Up they come, Johnson, Richards, Gary Morris, now there's space. Carling through the middle, it's got men outside. Wide out to Ian Hunter. Hunter's still going. Just a couple of metres short. Wide on the right. Carling almost in at the corner. But the sort of flowing move that England have so far in this World Cup failed to achieve, Steve, and that's much, much better.
Oh, tremendous play, and in the heart of it again we saw Dean Richards. He's so important to them. He's the guy that launched Gary Morris, who gave the long pass out to Ian Hunter. Great defence by the Western Samoans. They covered across very, very well there. But still, good play by England.
Expect a big scrummage from England here. The Argentines put them under enormous pressure, but the referee is not happy. In fact, with the Samoans, England are opting to go for the scrum, as they're allowed to do. They're going to test out this suspect Western Samoan scrum straight away. Remember, Argentina effectively scored a penalty try and a pushover against them. Graham Dorr is being called out, and that's silly because he's given away a penalty. Cool head needed in those situations, but the farmer from the Devon-Cornwall borders perhaps a little bit over-eager. He hasn't, after all, played for England for 8 years.
Yes, I'm going to say, when you waited 8 years for your chance, you'd probably be a bit over keen, but really, that's very unlike England, because normally they are a very disciplined team.
And Graham Dorr, nothing to come off at the moment. I don't know whether it's blood or whether it's a worse injury. Hunter, back. Almost put his men in trouble there, but rescued Dewi Morris. And after the ball had gone, a very unnecessary tackle, says the referee, from George Lau-Pepe on Neil Back. Kevin Murphy just treating Graham Dorr. I think that's what probably set Dorr off. He was getting some gouging up in the front row, so I think that's probably why he reacted.
Good punch on the blind side though by England, but there you saw it off the ball in the corner of your screen. Neil Back hit late, and the Western Samoas are prone to do that, unfortunately.
In fact, the hit was on Mike Cat. John Callard stepping forward to try and punish them for that late tackle. 15 minutes gone, England leading 5-0. And this kick from 37-38 metres. Well, no problems with the distance. Beautifully on target. Callard has turned into a real match-winning kicker. Kicked 4 penalties in his first test against New Zealand, and was then the match winner again with 5 penalties against Scotland, but was dropped after that disastrous defeat in 1993 against Ireland. Turnover, Dewi Morris puts it down the line, Hunter is after it. Nasty bounce for Umaga, that's all he could do was put it away into touch.
Good vision and a good kick by Dewi Morris. Big gap in the blind side there, and Ian Hunter chased after it like a stag. If that had bounced well, he could have got it in for a try.
Trying to get the charge down. Rory Underwood back. John Callard. Well, he can't really do anything else but kick because he had no support behind him. This is Puletu. But he's put it directly into touch too, and the youngster, the 19-year-old, is not really providing the steady pivot that the Samoans want at the moment, Steve.
No, all the attention's been on really Rabandri missing and Mike Cat taking over. We must remember that Western Samoa are missing a big influence in their normal number 10, Kellett, who's a very good player indeed.
Graham Dorr, fine again. Good jump again from West. Johnson was there to make the run, but instead Cat hoists the kick, it's very high. Carling's under it, tries to tip it back. Oh, it was so nearly worked. De Glanville got onto it, made the catch, but the ball had gone forward from Carling.
Great kick by Cat, he put that up miles. In fact, his kicking so far in this game from number 10 has been excellent.
And that surprises you, Steve?
I think he surprised the whole England team. We were talking to them yesterday, John.
Mike Cat the first to admit that his kicking out of hand has not been all that he would want it to be, but it's going very well. He's been practicing hard. And I saw Graham Dorr go up to the referee and say, make sure they stay up under pressure. Neil back, almost getting a hand in there again. Play still in the Samoan 22. And England have the throw at the line-out.
Two great takes so far from Richard West. I think England could throw there every time and it was accurate. West will take it.
There's Darryl Williams. The second row they've brought in to add weight and height to the second row, the Samoans this time. He plays now for Colomiers in France. Came over and toured Ireland in 1988 and stayed over. He's played his rugby in Europe ever since. Dean Richards going in on the catch from Martin Johnson. England again trying to roll off, exploding there, really getting a drive on. Neil back working furiously in the middle of that. Oh, but a boot went in. England had been given the penalty, and then a step went in. Get back, says the referee, and again somebody losing their discipline at the vital moment.
Poor discipline, 3 points gone begging really, and the platform was set up was so good. What a shame it was all wasted.
Dean Richards just asking for the full explanation, but we can see it very clearly. And we're midway through the first half. The drive going in from Mike Meeker. All 18 stone of him. And a penalty against England this time, going over the top of the ball in the ruck. Graham Dorr determined to make an impression. His enthusiasm quite incredible for the game. 35, he still travels 300-mile round trip twice a week to train with Bath. Tupou Farmasino, one of the home base players, he played against Wales as long ago as 1988.
Referee being very strict on England at the moment. 3 times on the run he's penalised them.
In comes Latu. Trying to shake free Farmasino. Back in there, he's got a hand on the ball. Can he get it free? It's come back England's side. Morris on his knees, but if he can get it wide now. Rory Underwood, using his strength as well as his pace. Phil de Glanville keeps it going. Graham Rowntree in on him. Back it comes. Oh, and it's just too slow. The ball popped out just as Robin whistled.
Yes, and also John Dowie Morris couldn't pass the ball out then because Western Samoa was retreating in an offside position, I thought, but the referee missed it.
But again, good pace from the England team. That's the thing that has been lacking so far in this tournament, and they really have stepped it up, and they're hitting those rucks and mauls hard and moving it away as quick as they can.
Yes, the control's certainly there, that was missing before.
Well, I understand the north of England viewers back in the UK missed the first few minutes. There was some transmission fault, so you missed the England try after just 2 minutes. Here it was, England getting on a tremendous forward drive. Udogu exploding off the side. Dowie Morris almost getting there. The forwards regrouping. A tremendous drive again. Almost the perfect scrum setup. They roll it one way. Samoans have to get back to try and stop it. Now it comes left. And there goes Neil back, exploding off the side for his first international try. So after just 2 minutes, England led 5 points to 0. Score now 8-0. And a good push again from England. Richards, in his first international, he scored 2 pushover tries from that number 8 position. Eventually the front rows turned through 90 degrees, so the scrum has to be reset and England will have the put in again. They've made about 5 metres on that one.
And they'll be happy with this, England. They can scrummage them all night if they need to. It'll sap the Samoan strength as well as keeping England's control that they need.
And Graham Rowntree in trouble there. Dean Richards was indicating that it looks like a calf strain, not just a bang. He seemed to be urging a replacement to get ready. Joey Morris doing the same thing. And in fact, stripping off now, John Mallett. John Mallett could be on to win his first cap, the Bath prop. There he is. This will be a proud moment for him if England do decide that Rowntree can't go on. But Rowntree deciding he's not going to come off yet. 25 minutes gone in the first half. And Rowntree mounting a real challenge for first choice place in that front row. Richards in to Ojomo. It's a messy ruck and England need to set it up again. Samoans steaming in, but that's better control from England this time. Back inside now to Ojomo. Still coming blind. Cat with the drop goal. It's scrappy, very scrappy, but it's over.
As they say, they all count, and Mike Cat will be delighted with that one. But really it was set up by, again, some good forward platform from England. And Dean Richards, so important to the team. You can see why we've been missing him so much.
And limping off, it's Graham Rowntree.
There it is. Some fly over, some flap over, but they all count for 3 points.
The interesting thing there is if he'd struck it well, it might have been charged down, but he got it underneath the charger. And Graham Rowntree in real trouble. So onto the field comes big John Mallett from Bath for his first cap. Score now, England 11, Western Samoa 0. Martin Johnson able to set that one up. The kick too long and too low.
And Mike Catt is kicking the ball miles tonight. The England boys are worried about his kicking, but I don't know why. In the first half hour, he's put it all over the place. It's been brilliant.
John Mallett, the physical educationalist, was at Borough Road College. Little Nualitia just putting that one away. There's the little dart there from Vaenga. But they can't really gather it in. This is Falaniko. Good tackle from Dor. And Nualitia just chipping it to the touchlines. It's a good one. Rory Underwood couldn't get to it and it bounces kindly.
You can see that as soon as England lose any kind of control, the Western Samoans are there in a flash. Any chance they get, they will move it. They'll chip into space, they'll chase it. They are a very, very dangerous team.
Victor Ubogu just needing a moment. It's quite a hot, humid night here in Durban. The weather has been much more unsettled than is usual down here. In the first 2 matches, England had rain in both of them. But this a more typical night. But nice and cool, really, because the match not kicking off until 8 o'clock. And one of the Samoans coming off, I think it's the back row player, Potu Leavasa. He played in the second row against Argentina. Noalitia snooting it. And England couldn't get hold of that one, but that does. A little knock forward though, the referee spotted it. Noalitia inside. Ojomo. Vaenga, a little run from Umanga, but it didn't quite work. Malik gets in his first big tackle. And held on to by the Samoans, clinging on there to stop England getting it back, and Malik's tackle winning a penalty for England.
And it just isn't working for Western Samoa tonight. We've seen him in the tournament so far. Umanga would have gone flying through a gap, but this England team, gaps don't exist for too long, and he was closed down very, very quickly.
Back again with a good touch inside the Samoan 10-meter line. And on for the Samoans. Tupu, the man who played in the back row against Argentina, replacing Leavasa. Richard West, and they're standing up in front of him, Martin Johnson. West's done very well taking Martin Bayfield's place. He's come up with a lot of ball. Ojomo off the top. To Glanville. Ubogu on the charge. Beautifully set up. Good quick ball for England. Now they've got some space. Carling coming through, but getting cut in half. And Cat puts it away to touch.
Still good play though by England, catching at the ball extremely well. It's good at the moment because what they're doing is they're sucking in the Western Samoa's fringes, then spinning the ball out wide where England do look dangerous. They'll be very pleased with this start, I think, John.
Mayasa Maivao with the throw. Victor Ubogu with that first little charge there. He's been under a bit of pressure, hasn't been going as well as he normally does, and he needs a big game. England sent back for closing the gap. Noalitia with the free kick. A little chip through, but Joey Morris is there to clean up. Manages to get the ball behind him for Ubogu to set it up. That goes to scrum half. Carling's again up and through on it. And a penalty for offside against the Samoans because there was no advantage to England. Lamb losing his boot in the melee. 31 minutes gone, England leading 11 points to 0. And a touch on the 22, England's throw-in because it was a penalty. And Steve, what England really need here is another try now before half-time. They've set up a couple of good positions. Can they take advantage?
Yes, they've been close 2 or 3 times, but as yet they've got to finish it off again.
Well, it looked like a shove. Tupu coming away with it. And away he goes again in good support. And that's how explosive they can be. Now they've got space. Noalitia. Vaenga wide on the left. And Lima supporting out there, having left his right wing. England getting their defence back into shape. Did the ball get down? And Neil Back now in trouble. It's a big hitting match, and Neil Back, I think, is saying that he really can't go on. And the doctor now agreeing with him, so Back is off. Having scored the opening England try, Tim Rodber waiting to come on. Oh, a lovely little reverse pass into Lau Pepi. And the Samoans really getting the drive on for the first time. England have got to be careful here. A little nudge forward, they couldn't quite keep control. And Tim Rodber now going on to take his place in the England back row to replace Neil Back.
Got a bad replacement. Feel sorry though for Neil Back, John. He's played very, very well in the game and a half that he's had, and he'll be very upset the fact he's got to go off. But like I said before, Tim Rodber coming on is no mean thing.
Feeling perhaps that Rodber hasn't been going quite as well as he does at his best, and perhaps a chance in this sort of match to really get in the explosive hits and runs that he's so good at.
Yes, he had a poor first game, but I thought he was a lot better in the second game, and like you say, his best is very, very good.
Good control in the scrum, and Litia was way offside there, but the referee saying he wasn't interfering with play. Good kick again, touch on halfway.
A great kick from Mike Katz. His kicking tonight has been superb.
Well, now the England line-out is even stronger. Tim Rodber going in at 6'6" and 18 stone. There's Brian Williams nearest to us, the old All Black wing, who I had a few battles with. Quickly taken line out, setting it up for the Samoans. Getting in there though, Ojomo. Cat pushing it away down to the 22. Another good kick, the little grubber that time. And England controlling this game at the moment.
Yes, they are. The forward platform is there, and Mike Catt's kicking has been up to everything they could have asked for it, because he's been putting England down 50, 60 yards every time he boots it.
And remember, we already know what awaits these two teams in the quarterfinals. The winners play Australia, and the losers play South Africa. Rodber, Joey Morris through like a shot. Just needs support now. Holds on, wasn't tackled. Or was he? The referee says he was. Well, I think that was a bit harsh.
Oh, very, very harsh, Mr. Roban. In fact, he's been very harsh with England all night long, because that was a superb break from Joey Morris, and for me, his momentum took it over before he laid the ball back.
Yes, the referee saying he held on to the ball after the tackle. I think Joey Morris thought he hadn't been tackled properly.
Yes, and 9 times out of 10 referees had let this go, because the player is trying to lay the ball back on his side. Momentum took him over. A bit harsh.
Robert in his best English, telling the front row, the front of that line-up what they want. Rodber dives in to clear it up. It's a good one. Back to Bogu, who knocks over Upeli. Now they could get it wide. Out to Hunter, who's joined the line, but he can't get his pass away. Can England get it back? It looks as if they have control. Now they're going to try and roll it off. Rodber has it. Has to go round the referee. Dragged down by Lavasamayo. Out to Hunter, Hunter, Hunter. A lovely pass into Rory Underwood. And England had the try they wanted before half-time.
Yes, they certainly have, and they've deserved it once again. Fantastic forward platform. Great setback by Tim Rodber, and England exploit the blind side. And Rory Underwood roars in for his giving him far too many, his 44th try in his 73rd game. Superbly set up by the pack. Howie Morris, right option, hit the blind side. Good running by Ian Hunter. And like I say, Norrie likes those.
I'll get this right in a minute. It's his 76th game and his 43rd try. But Rory Underwood continuing this rich vein of try scoring. He scored only 4 tries in his first 22 games for England, and since then has added another 40. Callard, the downside schoolmaster. Yes, just got it past the left post, so England increase that lead now to 18-0. And just as important, 2 tries at this stage of the game.
And 2 very good tries indeed. England exploiting the blind side well here, but Ian Hunter, he's shown he's got pace and power as well as the Samoans. Created the try beautifully for Rory Underwood.
Good drive again. England really putting the pressure on, and the Samoans then penalised for pulling down the maul. News of the England injuries. Neil Back pulled a hamstring, and that torn calf muscle of Graham Roundtree's could put him out for the whole tournament. Well, he's mistouched this time. But there's still a good position just outside the 22 for the line out as Leo Pepe puts the ball away. He's only 20 years old, Samoan born but educated in New Zealand, and he played for New Zealand schools and under 19, so he's no mug. Well, we're into injury time. England getting the roll. And the flag out from touch judge Jim Fleming, so Patrick Robin knows there's been some foul play. It's on the Samoan side, so this will certainly be a penalty to England. And he's speaking to the captain, Pat Lam. I don't know whether he's the offender or whether he's just singling him out. Up steps John Callard. Steve, a much more satisfactory first half for England in every way.
Oh, I think so, John. They'll be very, very pleased with this performance. It's the first time they've played without the rain, and the control we've seen in this game is the control they've been looking for all tour. And 2 nice tries to boot.
And the England fans up in the middle level of the stand, while there was that break, forming a conga on the little concourse that runs round in front of the seats, keeping themselves amused. They're certainly a much happier bunch this evening than they've been over the last week or so. Great kick from Callard, right on target. And England leading now 21 points to 0. We're well into injury time, and Monsieur Robin decides that that's enough. So England, with 2 tries in the first half, double their try count. They lead 21-0. Welcome back to Kings Park, and there's been a flurry of activity at half-time. At the moment, the Western Samoan outside half, Esera Paletu, the 19-year-old, is off, and they're in real trouble because if he is out, they haven't got another fly half, because Darren Kellett, we know, is out for the tournament with that shoulder injury that he sustained against Argentina. Jack Rowell, the England manager, has shown exactly what we expected, that he's a happy boy this evening. He's called the performance refreshing, but is still a little bit worried about these Samoans because they had this wonderful potential to turn defence into attack. It looked at one stage as if Argentina had the game sewn up, and he said to the England boys at half-time, we must continue to fence them in. And Fatasini, who has played quite a bit of rugby at outside half, comes on now for Peletu. And straight into the action, it'll be him to kick off. So the Western Samoans now without their first and second choice fly halves. England leading 21-0. And at the moment, a quarter-final against Australia in Cape Town beckons. The long kick-off, Katz under it and decides to mark it for safety. Bath are going to have another cat in the autumn. His brother is also a very useful junior player coming over to join the club. And he's a scrum half. West gathering it in and setting it up. What a good debut he's having. Hunter, well, Hunter giving away the penalty. That was ridiculous. Asking for trouble, hitting the man in the air. He must have known it was illegal, and he'll be lucky if he doesn't actually get a warning as well. But Monsieur Robin seems quite happy to just award the penalty.
As you say, John, very dangerous tactic indeed that. And Ian Hunter really is a bit lucky.
I think he was just so focused on getting his man.
This is why it's dangerous. Feet off the ground. Neck in danger, shoulder in danger.
And a penalty given against Rugby. Well, if that wasn't half a dozen of one and six of the other, I shall never know. Tufu Farmasino has stepped up to take the kick. I've got to say another impressive aspect really of England's performance is they have not given the Samoans many chances to really get their scoring machine going, Steve.
No, they haven't. In fact, I'd say the only chances they've had has been from the whistle of Mr. Robin, of which there's been plenty.
Tupo Farmasino, left-footed. Yep, and that's good. It looked a bit laboured, but he got the link. And the Western Samoans have points on the board, but they still trail 21-3. And that's about Kat's poorest dropout so far, right down into the 22. Samoans not under pressure. Fatasini gets away the kick to his own 10-metre line. There's Fats, the Samoan captain, is sitting it out. They know that they're through to the quarterfinals. They made a big play of saying that at the last tournament that was their aim, and this time they aim to go further. Rodba. Cat. Rory Underwood putting people on side. And England penalised for being in front. They decide on the kick instead of the scrum. Masino putting it away, left-footed again to touch.
Just need to pick up the pace a little bit here, England. A bit slow to start this second half, and they finished the end of the first half like a firecracker.
And they're certainly not enjoying Patrick Robin at the moment. He's being very fussy indeed. Talanico getting ball for the Samoans. Big tackle from several Englishmen. And Noalitia with the kick, but that should be too long unless it bounces desperately badly, and Rory Underwood just runs it out. It wasn't over the line when he took it over, so it's a 5-metre scrum to Western Samoa. That wicked bounce that you can always get with a rugby ball. Rob Andrew there, Damien Hockley. Good pressure at the scrum. Have to lay it back. Sini. Lima coming in from the right wing. And a little push forward, or yes, a little nudge forward, says Patrick Robin. So England defended well there and have the scrum.
Yes, they did. It's quite amazing all tournament. We've seen the Western Samoans burst through tackles, burst through gaps, but they've not been able to do that this evening. The England boys defensively have really been up to the Western Samoans, both in technique and physical strength.
Head off the outside of his left boot, he sliced that one a little bit. Samoans have cut it to a 5-man line out. And complaining bitterly there was Shemta Tupu. Oh, and straight through the middle, in under the post, just when England thought they could relax a little. They couldn't. It was Patasini, the man who's just come on at half-time to replace the fly half. Comes thundering through the middle from a little quickly taken free kick.
As we were saying, England were defending so well. This is what the Samoans have been doing all tournament. Little step inside, a lot of power, a lot of pace. Patasini under the post. Now there's danger.
Well, as you can see, England in the huddle just getting a lecture from their captain. Over goes the conversion from Tupou Farmasino. And the scoreline, England 21, Western Samoa 10.
It had to come. England started very lazily the second half. They had good control over the Western Samoans in the first half. And now they've got all on because the Western Samoans will be well fired up after that score.
Remember, Argentina thought they had the game won as they put the screw on the Western Samoans, but they just need a try like that to spark them into something very special indeed.
They certainly do, and they're capable of scoring 3 or 4 tries very quickly, as we've seen.
6-3-2-5. Yellow. Change. 6-3-2-5. Yellow. Change ball. Leo. Change ball.
Graham Dorr looking a bit like a Cornish pirate. Got that head wound early on. And this time a penalty to England for barging in the line out. And forward comes John Callard.
It would be a bonus for England. It would settle them down in the second half and get them back into the rhythm. What they don't want is the Western Samoans closing that gap. It would just fire them up and make it all the harder.
With the angle just about 40 metres. At sea level, it doesn't fly as far, but no problems distance-wise for Callard. And that's a beautiful he-struck kick through the middle. And the lead goes to 14 points. England leading 24-10. So the Samoans now 2 converted tries behind at least.
That's why they brought John Callard on this trip, to give Ramando a rest. They knew they would have a first-class goal kicker as a reserve.
Ian Hunter shouldn't have any problems with balls like that, because his preferred position is fullback. There he is, the Northampton man. He'll be playing second division rugby next season. City putting it wide, again out to Lima. Chip and run, but it went straight into touch.
Rory Underwood's got a lot of confidence in his own pace. He allowed Lima the outside and then closed him down in the end. All Lima could do was chip. Good defensive play by Underwood. And perhaps he didn't fancy the head-on tackle, John. I'm not quite sure which.
Brian Lima has scored 17 tries as far as we can calculate. Caps and tries for the Western Samoans are a bit difficult. And England penalised. I think they said that was lifting. Free kick. It can't be a kick at goal, but this is the sort of situation where they're so dangerous. Setting up that screen. The idea being that the England defenders won't know who's got the ball. And through which almost worked. Very dangerous this for England. And Crowley's got through, the try given. And I think it was Fatasini again. The fly half diving in there. The move from the free kick was beautiful.
It certainly was well worked. Great tackle here from Dowie Morris. Superb tackle, but it doesn't stop the movement. The ball's recycled. The danger's never, ever really gone away. And Fatasini, he's just come on the pitch. They scored 2 tries against England.
Well, any thought that England had of coasting through the second half are well and truly gone now. Just coming up to 12 minutes gone. And the conversion goes over. Farmasino making it 24-17.
A great pickup by Fatasino once again. We saw his strength and speed. We've got a game on here, John.
Rayasa Maival coming up with it, the hookup. Quickly, a game can change when the Samoans are in it. Away goes Lima. Good tackle from Dowie Morris. And he forces the ball forward on the tackle. So relief to England with the scrum.
What a great game Dowie Morris is having. Attack, we've seen it. 2 or 3 lovely breaks and then 2 fantastic tackles. He's playing his heart out on this trip, that's for sure.
The one thing that's vital here, Steve, is that England now don't go totally onto defence and try and hold out the Western Samoans. The only way to subdue them is to attack themselves and take the match to them.
Absolutely right. This is one team in the world you cannot go on the defence against, because the Western Samoans, they will punish you. England have got to go back to what they're doing in the first half, taking the game to Samoa, controlling the game, stamping them out, first time tackling. You can't allow these guys to run.
Jack Rowell, not quite as happy as he was at half-time. John Elliott next to him and Les Cusworth, the assistant coach. And suddenly it's different. England looking slightly less comfortable even in the scrums, where they had no problems at all. A That's a good kick from Cat. But taken beautifully by Lima. Scrum goes to Western Samoa. And the neutrals in the crowd, all baying now for the Islanders. Brian Lima, you can see why he's been such a target for the Rugby League scouts in Australia. Such a good player, only 23 still. Richards has it. And that'll be a relief to England. But he's been robbed, and that doesn't often happen. Coming away with it, Shem Tutupu. Nualitia, great little kick down the touchline. And suddenly, nothing working for England and everything working for Western Samoa.
It's a different game now. You don't often see that. Dean Richards, when he's got his arms around it, it normally comes back England's side, but not this time. And we're under pressure yet again.
The deflection was good. Back to Mike Cat. And he hasn't found touch. Lima spins it into the midfield. Across it comes to Laupepi. Must bring him down quickly, they do. But he gets the ball loose and it's continue. Hunter brings down his man. But still they keep it alive. And that's going to be another touch inside the 22.
That's the danger. Loose play, they'll run straight back at you. Initially we thought England had stamped out the danger, but they got the ball back, they recycle it very, very well. And once again, they're camped 20 yards from England's line.
Martin Johnson at the front of the England line-out. Standing at number 2. He takes the good two-handed catch. This is where England were able to drive off before, but they don't appear to have total control even now. Let's come back. Joey Morris. And at last something breaks England's way. The kick bouncing in front of Leo Pepe and deflecting into touch. And England taking their time coming up into this line-out. This is where I'd like to see them step up the pace, Steve. Instead of slowing it all down and going for this control by slowing everything down, I'd like to see them just put the squeeze on the game again.
This is very Five Nations, isn't it? The tactics, the way the teams play in Europe. If it doesn't work out here, they've got to step it up a gear.
And England that time getting the free kick. The Samoans closing it down, set up by Ojomo. And that's better, that's more dynamic. Back to Cat. Cat now trying to find space wide. To Glanville trying to get round his man. Cat again. It's bounced well. Rodber dragging men forward. Ubogu. Now they've got to just spread it wide. Joey Morris. Enormous strength. A tremendous game. Now they've got to get it wide, but he just cannot find the man he wants to. Richards holds it up, and they set it up again. Much better drive from the England forwards. Brought down just short. There's the ball, though. And a penalty try, in fact. The referee wandering behind the post, saying you pulled down the maul to stop it, and then you dived over the top to stop England getting the ball back as well.
Jack Rowell agreeing totally with that decision. And I must admit it was a brave decision, but I would say a very correct one, because the ball was coming out. England did have an overlap of 4-1. Western Samoa killed it, and a penalty try was the correct result.
Yeah, I think he thought about giving the penalty try just for dragging down the maul, and then decided he had to do it in the end, when they refused to let it out.
It's blatantly offside. Dowie's pointing. If Mr. Robot needed any help, Dowie gave it.
John Callard already running back, and And light between the teams again. England 31, Western Samoa 17.
And the whole build-up to the try really was excellent. England, when they go on the explosive run using Rugby and a Bugu and a Jomo, and they set up that platform, they really are very, very hard to stop.
Well, my one big hope, Steve, is that they don't settle back again into this sort of containing mode.
Well, no, really. They're looking for the result, and also as important is the way they play the game, because we know on tour so far they haven't been 100%, but we've seen it in patches in this game. And what they've got to do, John, is really pick up the game now for the remainder of the match.
Nice to see them scoring over 30 points already in a match. All the other teams have. Good kick. Poor position, but doesn't get the bounce he wants. And Pallardi sliced that. Oh, he's lucky. That was a kick that could have spelt enormous danger. The perfect present to the Samoans if they could have taken it. A broken field in front of them.
Yes, that's just what they wanted. And who dropped it? The two-try hero of 10 minutes ago.
And here we are in this match with almost 50 points on the board. It's quite funny, Sporting Index, who are running a spread on the total number of points in the competition, keep having to revise it upwards. Rodman dropping that shoulder and setting it up. Morris sniping round the side, but he tried to release it on the tackle, had to give the ball away. West gets in there, but we go back to the original knock-on from Morris.
We talk about the running of the Samoans. When Tim Rugby gets the ball, and Jomo gets the ball and explodes into them, England look very dangerous as well. And of course, when the ball comes out nice and quickly, Howie Morris is looking very, very sharp.
One of the things that I think is hampering England at the moment, Steve, is there seem to be an awful lot of Western Samoan defenders slow getting back into defensive positions when England have set up rucks and mauls, not interfering quite enough to give away penalties, but certainly interfering in the lines of sight and the lines of passing.
Yes, we certainly saw that with the lead up with the penalty try. But we see right now, because what happened there, the overlap was on. A couple of minutes before that, Howie Morris couldn't get his pass out, so England just drove it through the middle. And Mr. Roban had to give the penalty try.
Good tackle from Rodber, stopping that. There was an overlap for the moment on the right. And it was a knocked down deliberately, says the referee, so he gave a free kick. Johnson holds on to his man, but England weren't back 10. Again, this quick taker by Vaenga. Good tackle from the English, though. Can they come up with the ball? No, they can't. Wide it goes to the hooker, Langasa Maibao. Fighting in there. The England captain wrestling that ball free. Good kick from his centre partner, de Glanville. Away it goes from Farmasino, and he has no choice but to put it into touch.
Great tackle, Martin Johnson. He tackled him, turned him over, and wrapped him up. As a result, England came up with the ball, and Phil de Glanville, with good vision, put it in behind the Samoans. Well played, Martin Johnson.
The bank official. Very hard man, Johnson. Went to the right school when he was a youngster, went off to New Zealand for 18 months to learn what forward play was really all about, and played for King Country and even got a cap for New Zealand Colts. Well, again, the clearance from Fatasini, and England won't be pleased that they didn't win their own line-out ball.
Richard Wesley's gone a little bit quiet from a very promising start. He needs to get leaping. It's his first cap. The big take to the middle of the line-out would help his cause considerably.
Shem Tupu feeling the strain. I think he's got a bit of cramp. But I think it might be worse than that. Back row forward, he played superbly against Argentina. But they're struggling now for replacements. Graham Dorr, Martin Johnson from the front. Dorr straight in there behind him to start the drive going. And Rodber now away with it. Gets it to Ojomo. Good ball, Joey Morris. Now are they going to go wide? Hunter coming through the middle. Recycle it again. Back to Mike Camp, but there's a lot of Samoan defenders there. He hoists it. Good kick. He was able to jump for it. Gathered in and set up. Joey Morris. He's like another forward, isn't he? Graham Dorr getting it back. That's Ojomo. Now Richards. Rodber adding some pace. Almost over, but he's got to set it up again. And a penalty against the Samoans. It had to be.
A great forward play again by England. They look dangerous, so dangerous when they play like this. It's the team that we thought would do very well in this World Cup, but it's the first time we've really seen them perform, John, but I'll tell you what, they've been very impressive.
And the interesting thing is this strange England 15, really, that they picked, and part of the thinking was that there were a few people needing to fight for places, and a few people out here today have been told that they might be in with a chance of sort of making the first 15, and it seems to have worked.
There's a wily old dog, Jack Rowell. He won't let people lay back and relax for too long. Jack's a great believer in competition. He's quite a competitor himself. Once again, Western Samoa killing it. It's a good job they did.
John Callard with the kick. Yes, got it inside the right post. So England go away further. 34-17 now.
And the changes we talked about have worked well, really, if you think about it. England were paranoid about Rob Andrew missing, but Mike Catch played very, very well.
John Callard has 16 points. That's straight out. Cini hitting the ball way too long, and England have a scrum on halfway.
A few more bonuses as well. Victor Abubu looks more like his old self. Ojomo's played well. And the main thing is that Dean Richards so far, fingers crossed, has got through the game.
More attention on the sidelines to the Western Samoans. I think that is Shem Tupu needing more treatment, and they're running out of replacements, but here comes a second row now to take over in the back row, Sami Lamamia.
It's that kind of tournament, isn't it, John? I always said the last 15 standing would win this World Cup.
Going for the sidelines. Good try by Umanga, dummying inside and then rolling off to go himself. The England tacklers are there. Lamamia coming on the second row, so they've got two second rows in the back. the top from West. That was a much better ball. To Glanville, punching a hole through the middle. England did it quickly, they've got it. Rugby taking it on again. Proving a real handful for the Samoan tacklers. Again, there's a runner in the way. And England taking advantage. Richards, through comes Rory Underwood for his second try. Good advantage played by the referee. And Rory Underwood goes flying in for try number 45.
Same old combination. Tim Rodborough, brilliant play, setting up the maul. Victor Abugu carrying it on. Dowie Morris reading the game perfectly. Victor laying the ball back well. Dowie sniping down the blind side. Dean Richards, the master ball handler, and Rory Underwood, the master try poacher.
Yes, he timed his run so well, coming from a deep position at great pace.
Richards and Morris have combined superbly this evening, and once again they did it. Another try from Rory.
Kellard with the conversion, and that takes the score to 41-17 to England. That's much more like it against the next most dangerous team in their group.
Over 40 points, and the tries have been good ones, and this one has been no exception.
Well, Carling has come off the field and has led on Damien Hopley for his first cap. I think that was probably a little bit more of a precaution on the part of Carling. Remember, he's been injured all week, but he persuaded the referee that he couldn't continue. I'm not so sure. But that's excellent for Damien Hopley, who's played so well over the past 12 months and thoroughly deserves a cap. So now every member of the England squad has been capped.
Which I think is good. It's good for morale, it's good for individuals. Damien Hopley's a good player, he won't let them down.
There he is, the Wasps centre. But the Samoans, even though the 41-17 down, will certainly not give up, and England can't afford to do anything else but keep it going. Door to Hunter. And a good touch from Hunter. Play back up to the Western Samoan 22. But again, it's a battlefield, and two England players on the floor. One of them's Rodborough. I think the other one's Dean Richards.
Yes, we'll certainly do without that. Two very, very important members of the England squad here.
Terry Crystal, the doctor on, and Kevin Murphy, the physiotherapist. And Richards, the good news is that it's not any repetition of the leg injury. The bad news is it looks as if he's had a bang around the head, and Kevin Murphy quite rightly just checking everything out. Rodber's okay.
Yes, as rugby players, John, we're always relieving it's only head, aren't we? I think Rodber's the same. I think he's had a clash, and I think he'll be okay.
Rodber going off basically because he's got a cut. Just got to get that the bleeding stopped, and on comes Brian Moore. He'll like that because they'll say that doesn't break his run of consecutive internationals.
He'll also claim a cap for being an outside flanker, knowing Brian.
And also trying to get onto the field. It shows how hard this game has been. Is Peter Fatialofa, the tall captain. Dean Richards just walking off. I don't think they're going to risk any further problems with Richards. He's had quite a bang. Brian Moore onto the field.
Number 20 come on to replace Tim Rodber. And in the Western
There's one. big consecutive run of caps that has been broken to this match, with Roundtree playing and Jason Leonard not on the bench. It ends a run of 40 consecutive internationals for Jason Leonard. And Kieran Bracken going on as an extra replacement. I wonder who's going to play on the forward. Bracken at the moment out behind the backs because it's a line out. That's Darryl Williams coming away with it. Pat Lamb. Bracken almost getting his head taken off with his first tackle. Welcome aboard. Umaga now the flanker, clearly trying to get it going again. Comes wide, bit of space here, and kicked up by Hunter. Can he sidestep his way through? He's got a lot of support, Brian Moore. But that time it didn't work. But Jomo and he making a little bit of a mess of it. But Jomo making up for it with a big tackle. Noalitia gets it away to start the Samoan movement going. Farmasino. Noalitia again. Chip over the top. Back goes Callard. Back goes Underwood. Underwood getting a good rolling kick, but he doesn't find touch. Lemamia. And after a very hectic period of non-stop action that was all a bit scrappy, it settles down with a scrum.
Yes, but rugby's fast and it's brutal, isn't it, John? It's incredible the games we've seen out here with 16, 17 stone men crashing into each other.
Well, that one sitting on the sideline, 18 stone, 11 pounds of George Latu, a lawyer in the Attorney General's office back in Western Samoa. But Umaga almost getting free. Cat now waiting for support. Just feeds it back. Lovely little flip from Dewi Morris. Callard, Hunter with a bit of space. Chips ahead, and Kieran Bracken in a race there with Fatasini, and Sini won it. But a penalty for obstructing the kicker after Hunter had kicked ahead. He was held off the ball, says the referee, so it's a penalty to England.
Dewi Morris, quite rightly, say to John Collard, slow it down, go for goal. There's only 5 minutes left. We're very happy with the score. We don't want any more injuries.
Pat Lamb now requiring treatment. What I'm really longing for is a scrum to see whether Dewi Morris goes in and packs down as a flanker, and Kieran Bracken goes the scrum half, or whether we see Kieran Bracken packing down in the back row. John Callard, 18 points becomes 21. And the scoreline goes to England 44, Western Samoa 17. All the England supporters in very good heart. This is the sort of lift-off that they wanted. After unimpressive performances against Argentina and Italy, both of whom were soundly beaten in the end by Western Samoa. They've seen the Samoans off with great ease. And I don't know what Kieran Bracken thought he was doing there. He marked the ball, but he can't do that outside his 22. And it comes back Samoa's side. Sini gets it away to Farmasino. The chip ahead from Lima. Callard keeps his cool, but a penalty to the Samoans, holding the man back. Well, a high tackle, but they're running it. Noalitia. In it goes, and roaring through down the wing. You cannot give them an inch. A try for Michael Manga. And England have twice been caught in this match by the Samoans taking penalties or free kicks very, very quickly. They really should have been alert to that.
They won't kick a goal. They like scoring tries. Sniping down the blind side, and Umunga takes this, and he's going like a rocket. That's a crowd pleaser, but really, it won't matter. It's still been a good night for England.
Yes, we're into the last minute. The score 44-22. The kick won't reach. So just 20 seconds left on the clock. And as Steve was saying, a very satisfying evening for England. Tim Rodber back on the pitch, having had that wound dressed. So we don't see the sight which I'd have enjoyed of Kieran Bracken in the back row. England still with time for another try. I'm sure there's quite a bit of injury time to play. Setting up this good rolling ball. They've broken through. Almost nobody in front of them now. The big drive, 10 metres from the line. Back it comes. Now it would be good to see it just put wide. The passing wasn't good, but it's got to Hunter. Can he go round his man? Back inside. Hopley gets it back inside again. Hunter again. And he's into touch at the corner flag. Jack Rowell on his feet. I don't think he was well pleased with the quality of the passing. An intervention from the touch judge, but the referee deciding that we should go back to the line out, and play continues as it happened.
Good attack by England as well. David Hopley, nice first touch, almost led to a try after some good running initially by Ian Hunter.
The Samoans with the throw-in. Rodber, can he gather it? No, it was a good throw. And this is where they're so dangerous. Low Pepe setting the movement going. Little fumble by Nualitia, but it didn't go forward. The referee's happy. Through comes Uteli. Farmasino. And England desperately need to get a hand on this ball. The referee's whistled. There was a little knock forward. Scrum down England.
England boys, now all they want is Mr. Robban to blow that whistle just one more time. Only this time for the end of the game, because as far as they're concerned, they've had a very, very good night, and as long as the injuries aren't too serious, they'll be well pleased with their performance.
Scrum swinging round through 90 degrees. We're 2.5 minutes into injury time. But you've seen what it's been like. Stop, start, stop, start. It's been like a battlefield out there for much of the match. Thank goodness, I'm sure these players will be thinking they've got a week to recover before the quarter-final. Lovely little passing movement, but Hunter can't hold Callard's pass. It didn't go forward. Through comes de Glanville. Brian Moore setting it up. England taking it on Johnson. Graham Dorr, and a chance for one more try. Rodber passing to de Glanville, and de Glanville complaining that he was tackled before he got the ball. The referee decides enough's enough. Jack Rowell, a very relieved man. England off and running their World campaign, their World Cup campaign, now looking good. The final score, England 44, Western Samoa 22.